Hello and welcome to our first installment of our new monthly Raiders Roundtable. I'm Maddie.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Mr. Pouncy.
Now, would you like to tell us why we're all here today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much negativity going on in the social media. One of the things that I would like to do is be transparent and hear the voice of the students, hear the voice of the parents, and just have candid conversations around a segment around the Raider Roundtable. So happy to be here.
That's good.
Perfect. So I'll start it off, of course, with my icebreaker. How long do you plan on being a principal here or being in leadership of Skyline?
Man, Skyline, I really feel like is my life's work. And I know people say that a lot, but I have really fond memories of this place all the way back. But how cool would it be to really leave a legacy? So to answer the question, I'm going to be here as long as Skyline will have me, just like what Mr. Murphy said. I think it's true. As long as the school will have me, I'll be here.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And I know your mom was a principal as well.
Yeah.
So how does she feel like the direction of the school is going from what you're doing?
From my mom's standpoint, if she has no opinion, that's a great thing, right? I mean, it's everybody's mom, moms are moms.
Yeah.
And it's when moms have opinions is when it's like, okay, maybe I need to think about something else. But I know she gets feedback from people here that the people that were here when she was here. And so far, everything's all good. The bad thing is, I know when you talk about home and you go home, a lot of times we talk about school and work. So think about it, if you are surrounded about school every chance you get. So sometimes we're like, oh my God, okay, I'm not talking about work. I'm not talking about school. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
But both of my parents were principals. My dad was a principal at Newman Smith High School in Carrollton. And my mom was one of the principals here, and she's still principaling. She's still subbing. So still going.
So it's kind of like it was destined for you to be here.
Man, I fought it. I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to do all this stuff, right? But inevitably, I mean, you just can't fight what the man upstairs has for you. You know what I mean? So I was a coach for a long time. I coached football and track. And when I got the opportunity to be an assistant principal, I took it, and primarily kind of for the money. And then it just kind of led me down this path. And at some point, I got to stop fighting it. Sometimes I feel like I'm still fighting, but I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be.
What was your mom's reaction when you first took the
She thought I was crazy. She thought, really? Like, you really want to? And then she said, but I can really see it because we are really a give back family. It's about service to people first. And service truly to kids. Like, I really tell you, even the biggest knucklehead kid, I see the potential. Like, I see myself in the biggest knucklehead. They can mess up, 4 out of the 5 days, and I still see a little bit of man, I used to be a little bit of knucklehead myself. And then on the other end, I understand the smart because I would goof off because I was bored in class, and I would get in trouble because I had all my work done, and come on, I'm picking at you, right? But my work is done and your work is not, and I get in trouble. So I get it, But at first she was just like, no, you must have lost your mind, But I think she's good with it. They're accepting it, and so we check in, and I talk to them weekly, and they do their thing, we do our thing. My dad is retired too, so I can't get him off the couch, So it is what it is.
So we know you've done a lot for the school that most of the kids know, but is there anything you've done that is more unknown?
I think there's a lot of people that work behind the scenes. I'm going to give a shout out to the teachers. And I don't mean it in the cheesy principal way. I really do think that the real magic happens with the teachers. When I first got here, all I said was I want the teachers to actually teach. And so now in year 2, I'm going back and I'm thinking, well, what does that really mean? Do they know what I mean by just teach? But some of the behind the scenes work that I'm still trying to accomplish is funding, because we have wonderful programs like your program that need the funding. They need the money to keep it going. Automotive, aviation, so we set up these programs and it's, yay, great, we got automotive, or yay, great, we got aviation, and we don't put any more money into it. So really, I would like to continue the programs through a funding standpoint so that we set up that, from the kids 10 years from now can have better facilities. Everybody's building bigger and better. When you go to Allen, you go to Prosper, you go to Salina, you see bigger and better. What are we doing here, right? And so we have good, but it could be a little bit better. So I think that's where the next phase of the work needs to be done there.
Okay.
Amen. Amen. So where do you see Skyline in 5 years under your leadership?
Right now we're a B campus, and what that means is in test scores and student achievement, we're a B, from a D to a B. The key is maintaining that B or getting higher, right? And so we really could be, in the terms of the state, an A campus, the top rating, but all it takes are fine tweaks from here and there. Skyline is an interesting beast. It's all of these programs and all of these different pathways and all of these different people, and they come here for all of these different reasons, right? But trying to unify them and make it like one, that's the hard part, because you're here for a reason, the people behind the scenes are here for a reason, but can we all say that there's one big reason why we're here? Is it student achievement? Is it like outcomes after high school? Like, what do you want to achieve by being here? And so I think in the next 5 years, I would like those tangible outcomes from every program. Like, what do you get out of being in the program that you're in? Is it internships? Is it scholarships for college? Is it the connections that you have in the industry? Are you going to stay in journalism, broadcast, radio, film, and television, right? What about the aviation kids? What about the automotive kids? Like, are they going to stay in the fields that they're in? That would be the true testament to what we're doing here. And I think it could happen. So yeah, I want us to be an A campus, but ultimately I want everybody to have the experiences that get them to where they need to be from after Skyline.
So we know COVID happened and changed the whole way we teach and learn and go about things. Do you think the school has adapted enough or like to match everything that happened after COVID?
You want to be honest? No.
Oh.
I really think we have some work to do. I think we have a lot of different styles, and COVID made us evolve. Like, it made us change the way we think. But I think the one thing that COVID did do is allow us to show that kids learn differently.
Yeah.
Right. Some kids were cool with being on the internet, right? But some kids really need to face-to-face, sit yourself down and do the work, right? And it really depends on the kid, and being honest and saying, look, Mr. Pouncy, I need extra help. While COVID really kind of exposed some things, I think also we have the last thing that I'll say is some social issues that we have, whether we have emotional issues or social issues where we're just learning how to deal with each other, right? Y'all can imagine if you go down in the lunchroom, I don't know if y'all even go to the lunchroom.
We do.
How many little interactions we have that may have been, I guess, left behind because of COVID. So we had to learn how to deal with each other all over again. Teachers are the same way. Administrators are the same way. When we had a building when it was COVID and it was maybe 200 kids in the whole building, from what I hear that was here, now we have 4,000, and it's traffic, it's attitudes, it's
a lot of traffic,
freshmen, so it is what it is. I mean, we just have to adapt. And so having that open mind and being flexible and adapting is really the whole reason why high school exists. It's not because you need to make this certain grade, but it's about playing the game and learning how to adapt.
Oh, you want me to ask a question?
Okay. Go.
Well, this question is little bit more controversial.
Okay. All right, look, so come on.
Just a little.
Sorry.
Just a little.
So, I'm on principal's council, so I was at the meetings. And
you missed the meeting today.
Yeah, because I was here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But, you said that you wanted to limit phone usage and maybe bring pouches or something. And what would we do if we were like in a dire emergency? Because I know the shooting in Georgia, kids couldn't contact people because their phones were away.
I'll tell you this. I'm not a big fan of pouches.
Okay.
And for a few reasons. Not just for the reason of limiting cell phones, but I don't think, just right now, I'll be honest, I don't think the pouches are foolproof. And what I mean by that is, I think pouches can be jailbroken, right? I have taken a pouch myself, put a pencil in it, broke the magnet, and taken a cell phone out of it. That's why we don't have them here, right? I think a better reasoning for limiting cell phone could be for instructional. Like, I think we just need to figure out on our end from the adults, on our end from the adults, what the reason behind the pouches or limiting cell phone is. Is it for instructional or is it for safety? I would much rather err on the side of safety and you keep your cell phone and put some rules into place to where you don't have cell phones in the hallway, don't have cell phones unless the teacher asks you to use the cell phone. Then limit the cell phones 100%, right?
Okay.
Now, there's all kinds of weird things going on with schools. They're even trying to limit cell service. It's like weird, right? But the only other thing that I will say about that is we have to be very careful, because if it's a mandate from the state of Texas, it's out of Mr. Pouncy's hands. And if the state says we have to do these pouches and limit cell phones, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to monitor. It's going to be hard to enforce. It's going to be a hard thing to do. Right. But I would much rather rely on the maturity of our kids and students to say, hey, look, just put your cell phones away when you're told, and go from there.
Okay.
So we know you're an alumni from Skyline.
I am.
You brag about how amazing it was when you went here.
Yeah.
So is it your
Could be
plan-
perception, but I'm biased, right?
Is it your plan to revert it back to what it is, or to elevate it to something new?
I want to elevate it to something new, because it goes back to that perception. You know, it's really y'all's perception of what your high school experience is, not mine, right? I can remember the way things were when I was here. It was a different time, you know? That's why I started the Principals Council. That's why I'm here today. The more voice you guys have, the more I know which direction we need to go, so that you can have the same experience that I had. Now, I'm not saying it was perfect. We had drama, you know, we had stuff, but I think I had more good memories than bad, and that's the way I would like it for you guys.
Okay.
You know, so something better. I think we can do better.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with that too. I think we can elevate to something new and better.
Yeah. And we just have to figure out what that new and better is.
Yeah.
Because it might not live in my brain, it might live in y'all's, you know, and then I just kind of frame it for you and just go from there.
Yeah. Now, speaking on us having a high school experience and all, I have another question.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So I know that I have at least, have switched counselors every 4 years, and other schools keep the same counselor for like connections and a better success rate with the student. I was wondering why that is. So
that's a new rule. You guys are going to keep your same counselor. Now, it might not affect you guys because you might be out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. But what we were able to do was add counselors this year. We have 15 counselors total.
Okay.
And they're going with the kids for next year. So the counselors that they have this year will be the counselors that they have next year, will be the counselors that they have their junior year and then their senior year. So you get to know those individuals. And there are different models to counseling.
Yes.
But we're looping now. And what that looping means is they go with their kids every year.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you missed that part, but hopefully it'll be better for the underclassmen for next year.
Okay.
I think it will. I think they'll have a better connection.
Yeah, I do too. We're working on some things for counselors as well, because there are a lot of underclassmen that don't know who their counselor is.
Yeah.
We have some counselors with different styles, if you look at my eyebrows. And so the more you know your counselor, the more you interact with your counselor, and the more your counselor is visible. We have a counselor's corner in the student center in October. My challenge to the counseling staff is to be in the counselor's corner during lunch, be in the students, the senior cafeteria during lunch, and just be visible.
You know, speaking of different centers, I wanted to know, were we still getting, a senior center? Because I did hear you mention that.
Yes,
Not
so
a senior center, but there will be furniture in the student center, possibly for seniors only to use. So the furniture for the student center is ordered. It's a little back ordered right now, but the money has been allocated. And so the next step is for it to come in and we determine how we're going to use it. And if we just do it during lunch, if we do it during the mornings. When I was here, now I will say back in my day, in the day, the student center had furniture along both sides and anybody and everybody could go in there in the morning, and then lunch, the seniors only. Right.
Okay.
And so we just have to determine what that looks like. But furniture is on order, and then we'll go from there.
Could that also be like a spot for like different seniors who may have early release?
That's a good, so here's the other thing. We have to talk about what good standing means. And so if you're a senior in good standing, that means you're on track to graduate, you got your CCMR, you got everything you need, right? Then you should have free reign. even to the point to where you could wear whatever you want. Right? So we have to talk about what good standing means. So yes, if you have early release and you're in good standing and you're waiting on a ride and you're just studying, student center.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So then it kind of gets back, but it's a combination of the old and the new. So I'm looking for ideas, whatever you guys think that could make our campus better. That's really why we're here for this roundtable.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking on making the campus better,
Okay.
this one is my personal question.
Okay.
The other questions were questions other people have. This one's mine.
Okay.
So, ISS. You can get sent to ISS for big or small things, but that's causing kids to be like essentially locked away the whole school day and miss out on their studies. So like, are you thinking of different disciplinary?
So we have a varied, like the discipline varies for us, right? The coach that's in ISS is wonderful and he's a certified teacher. The back end of ISS is the reason why you're going to ISS or why they are going to ISS.
Yeah.
Truly, ISS is a deterrent, right? It should be the last step before we're talking about out of school suspension or like, and we really have to make sure this is a place where people want to be, right? And so we like to use ISS for a few different reasons. If you show that you don't want to be here, as if you leave campus and it's proven that you left campus without permission. The only place that I know where to put you to know where you are is ISS.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
If there's a safety reason, like two kids just got into a fight for some reason until their parents come to pick them up, ISS.
Yeah.
So it's really not arbitrary. The point for ISS for something like a dress code situation is so you can call your parent so that you can change and then you go back to class. It's not so you can be in ISS all day, right? So really it's an instrument for change or instrument for saving and making sure you're safe rather than just saying you're just going to go to ISS all day, right? The other things that I'm just now doing, and I have two kids that are in lunch detention with me, right? They're doing their reconnect. They go get their brown paper bag and they sit there just like elementary school and do their lunch detention. We also have reset, but reset is more if you guys get into a light argument and you care about the relationship and your friends, you can go and talk it out with Miss Beck and she's phenomenal, right? But ultimately, we really want all of the disciplinary actions to be reflective of somewhere where you guys want to be, all right? There's a lot of kids, I feel like, that they're just here and they can be involved in something and really be a part of what you guys are doing because you guys are doing the great things, but you know, the kid that goes home and comes to school, I know, like, look, I'm bragging here. The kids that come to school, don't go home and don't really get involved, it's just idle time. And I want to fill that idle time with good programs.
Well, you're doing
What do
a
you
lot.
think?
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
So I have a question more.
I'm sorry, I
about-
got a time limit. I got to go. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm about to
No,
say,
I'm just kidding.
Like, dang, just going in the room. Okay.
No.
About pep rallies. So I think, you know, us having pep rallies really helps us a lot with bringing more. Like, I know the first pep rally we had, a lot of students came out. They had posters. It was a big
Man,
deal
I
for
was
us.
shocked. And I'll tell you what I was shocked. The first game, it was packed at the game. It was packed at the pep rally. And people had actual posters.
Yes.
The cheerleaders make
So,
those.
Oh, there you go.
I was thinking maybe if we could have more pep rallies for maybe more home games.
We have 2 more pep rallies planned, and depend on how the campus goes, going back to her question with ISS and discipline, nothing is more important to me than grades, behavior, and attendance. So really, I struggled today, right? Because today was supposed to be a free dress day for everyone. But this week we had a couple of things. I don't know if you heard. We had like some kids kind of got into a scuffle. We kind of had some hanky-panky weirdness as far as a fire extinguisher. Let's keep it real. I'll keep it real, right? But when people do stuff, it makes me clamp down a little bit more. So the more that we have people doing what they're supposed to be doing, the more I'm willing to give back.
Yeah.
I know seniors are handling their business, right? So that's why I tweeted out, hey, seniors, wear your jeans, free dress, do what you need to do, right? I know the juniors are very capable. So juniors, shout out, you're next, right? But as we train, and I think this is the biggest thing to take away from today, is the one fond memory that I did have, or I still have, is when I was a freshman and sophomore, there were seniors and juniors that I looked up to, right? that if we were doing something stupid as a freshman, that senior would say, hey, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
You need to take that on, right? That, I think, is the only thing that I truly don't see. I don't see true kind of senior leadership. I see the seniors or juniors just kind of staying to themselves and saying, ooh, them freshmen, they bad, right? But not kind of stepping in and say, hey, man, settle down. We don't do that here. Hey, girl, we don't do that here, right? I distinctly remember, and I can call names, Kendall Miller, he was a senior when I was a freshman, and we still talk to this day, right? Brandon Starlin, he was a senior when I was a freshman, and I still remember these seniors saying, hey, Pouncy, this is how you need to act. This is how you need to walk. This is where you need to go. Stay away from this teacher because she's crazy. Stay away from the hill because you ain't never going to get to class. So as we get better as a campus, we'll have that leadership, right? To where we can all participate in something. And it's not just seniors, it's not just juniors. And that's really the test for me. I'll know we made it when we get there.
Yeah. Some more leadership amongst the upper class.
Yeah. And I think it can happen. And you guys are very capable. I know you are. But sometimes you don't want to get involved. Right?
Well, this all has been very enlightening. Thank you for coming to talk
No
with
problem.
us.
When are we doing this again?
Next month, hopefully.
Yeah.
Next month, I'm good. Will y'all have snacks?
We might have a little coffee, a little.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look. It's an empty table, dude. Like,
we'll fill it.
We got you
we'll
next time.
You feel it next time. Okay.
Well, thank you for this roundtable. I've been Maddie.
I am Jay.
And this is
Mr. Pouncy.
See you next time.